So we've got 2-inch thick beadboard right now. We took the old fiberglass out of the wall and we are putting this in place of it. Now this is actually 1 3/4 from this edge to here. So what we did is we actually crushed the beadboard under a tire and we got a nice snug fit. So what I'm doing now is I'm actually cutting out the next few panels, and yeah, we're looking at 29 high and 26.5 wide for the regular windows. This is the only oddball that's a little wider. For the rest of them should be pretty standard. So we never explained how we took the ceiling or the wall panels off the bus. We actually didn't have any recording devices at the time. We saw online several different ways, everything from grinding to torching and cold chisel. We ended up doing the latter. It ended up being the easiest way for us to just take the hammer, 2 swipes on each rivet, going all the way across, came right off. And we've actually kept the steel from the ceiling because it was all still good. They did a pretty good job sealing that up from any water damage at all. We had to take several shifts on the cold chisel due to the fact there were hundreds of these. It was good that we happened to have several hands to help take the ceiling down because there was fiberglass throughout the entire ceiling and walls. And once you get the last rivet down, there's nothing else to support it up. So Zach made a stencil for our windows. So these washer screw combos hold these windows in on top of the caulk around it. So we are taking them out and are going to put them back over top of the post frame 2x4s. So we got longer screws for them, and hopefully this works out. It just comes down to what Zach can do next. We did a few bit of changes to our studs, but this is the outcome. We took off the washer screw combo. We got longer screws to go through both the 2x4 and back into the frame for the windows. And what we have is a gap here for wires to come through for when we put our paneling on. And then we're going to have a gap here for all of these wires up top. And then we're going to have a 2x4 that's going to run the length across. And then we're going to have 2x4s that go between here and here, just as under the window, like a sill, kind of. Once that's all done, we'll put our paneling on, and then we'll move on to the ceiling. So when you do the ceiling, or the whole project for that matter, expect a lot of drill bits to be used up. I think we bought several different packs and several different self-driving screws that just went to pot every time. So it's just one of those things where you're trying to get through metal, it's going to happen. What you see here is us putting a straight board going across the whole length of the bus. This is what's going to hold the ceiling up. We have this coroplast or corrugated plastic. We got them in 4x8 sheets, and the idea is they hang up onto that board and then snap into place on the ceiling. Okay. So we've got all the wall studs done. We've got our posts, got our crosses for the sill, got the long lengths going all the way front to back, and we are now going to be moving on to paneling. We do plan on having electrical going through here, outlets, other electronics, but we are first just going to start with blank paneling, and in the future we'll actually add holes and whatnot for that. We are also probably next weekend going to start working on here. We've got some ideas for coroplast, possibly like a semi-transparent that will diffuse some light LED strips that we put up here, along with the insulation and everything else. So what we got now is the beginning of the paneling. We've got 4 sections so far. And what we're doing here is we've got hook and loop Velcro stuck together. We put the hook against the wall, and then we peeled off the backer on the loop, and we are literally sticking these panels right to it. And then that's what's going to be holding that on. We do plan on doing some windowsills in the future to help cover this edge. What we got here is the ceiling portion. We're putting in the foam to start. And to do this, we have 1-inch pink foam, and we are cutting it at 3.5 wide and by 26.5 long. And we're putting, in some spots, we're putting a few tabs of double-sided tape. And when we peel them up, we are placing them in between each of these ribs. Now, what we're going to do is we've got 6 here. We're stopping here, and then we're going to have a larger piece go up to this bracket here. And then we'll continue with large pieces, one last large piece, and then back down to the 3.5-inch slabs to make this curve go right. Once all said and done, I'm going to take some tape and I'm going to go over top of each one of these seams just for extra stability as well as insulation value. When that's all said and done, it'll be all ready for lights and the ceiling pieces once we're ready for that. So as we started placing insulation, we also started putting on panel boards on the walls, and Zach started to work on the wiring some more, cleaning it up, taking all the old wires out. He was also trying to figure a game plan out to make our own panel, as well as make sure everything was in working order for our trip.